How on earth do we stop them? Every other day, it seems, another rickety boatload of asylum seekers splutters into Australian waters. Our politicians are endlessly arguing the point. But no matter what the government says or does, the people smugglers see us as a soft touch. They know we will not leave desperate men, women and children to die adrift in the ocean. I've just spent a week out on patrol with our Defence Forces, and I must say they are doing an extraordinary job in very difficult conditions with no end in sight.
You are to stop your vessel immediately and await the arrival of an Australian government vessel which will be in the vicinity shortly to board you.
It's another Indonesian fishing boat crammed with desperate asylum seekers. So far this year, they've been heading for Australia at the rate of 3 a week. The vessel is claiming its steering is broken and needs help.
Between 30 and 40 personnel on board, sir.
Yeah, roger, between 30 and 40 personnel.
Between 30 and 40 asylum seekers. Is that normal? Average size?
That's probably below average for the for what we're seeing in recent times.
That's small.
Reasonably small, yes.
Well,
generally, we're seeing upwards of 80 to 90 in recent times.
80 to 90?
Yep. Correct.
I'm on board patrol boat HMAS Broome under the command of Barry Leroy. We're steaming towards Ashmore Reef, 840 kilometres northwest of Darwin. By 5 in the afternoon, we catch up with suspected illegal entry vessel, or CEV 151.
Well, Liam, that, I've got to tell you, can be a scary sight. You want to have a look?
Yeah. In what way?
Well, I'm sure when you look, you'll make up your own mind.
Oh, goodness, yeah. That's absolutely packed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Just out in they're out in the open, no cover, nothing.
Yep.
Shoulder to shoulder. As a seaman, long-standing, what do you think when you see that?
It scares the hell out of me. It really does.
Laurie!
So now, another asylum seeker rescue operation must swing into top gear. It's all part of Operation Resolute, a huge joint effort by Australian Customs and our Defence Force. We've been granted exclusive access on their latest patrol, with the condition we don't reveal the identities of asylum seekers. Service on our northern border has become a frantic and exhausting routine for personnel like leading seaman Matt Croucher.
Once we do the boarding and conduct the boarding, we could be awake maybe 21 hours a day. We'll get 3 hours sleep a night, and we can do that for 5, 6, 7, 8 days.
And I guess it's because they've been at sea for a few days. There's a certain sort of smell associated with it too.
It's horrendous. Some boats have been going for a number of 30 days plus, and the smell of 90 personnel on board one of those boats for 30 days, it's sickening.
Later that night, inside the fetid hull of CEV 151, it's hard to quell the nausea.
I've got to get out of here. I'm feeling sick.
My guide is boarding officer Shane McCallum, who's seen this so many times before.
Just watch your feet as you're coming forward here. Watch the step there.
It shows just how desperate these people are to put up with these conditions for a new shot at life.
Just get your hand under there. You'll be able to...
Something to hang on to.
Yep, something to hang on to as you go aft.
You can't believe they put women and kids on boats like this, can you?
Yes, that's the tragic part of it. The children.
Yeah, mate, can we grab your helmet off? Yep, oh, you speak English, awesome.
And in one of the great ironies, the focal point of the campaign to arrest this tide of human misery is a sandy Australian atoll that looks like paradise. We hear a lot about this tiny island, but not many of us ever get to see it. This is Ashmore. It's the favourite destination for asylum seekers. because a mere 140 kilometres that way is the nearest Indonesian landfall of Roti. And the people smugglers know if they can get their human cargo across that tiny gap, they're pretty well home and hosed. They pretty well know that we're a soft touch, don't they?
I don't know what they do or they don't know. I know they don't have a great deal of respect for the people that they push through the system. That's one thing I do know.
But they know if they get their clients to Ashmore Reef, they'll be looked after.
Of course we'll look after them. Yes, of course we'll look after them. That's the right thing to do. That's the Aussie thing to do, I'd suggest.
Commodore, if an asylum seeker boat is found out there, you get to hear about it first in this room.
That's right, and along with our Border Protection Command colleagues in Canberra, we work that problem.
As Chief of the Defence Forces Northern Command, it's Commodore David Gwyther's job to keep our borders safe. And he has an armada of military assets at his fingertips to deal with the illegal boat problem. So the eyes and ears here decide who deals with a CF and what happens from there.
The eyes and ears here deal with not only CFs, but fishing incursions, smuggling, crime and piracy at sea. Whatever the threat happens to be, it all comes in here.
Get back! Get back and sit down! Sit down! Move back! He's picked up a knife! He's coming at you! High threat! High threat! Get down! Move back and get down!
But it's the asylum seeker issue that's the most pressing. And we're dealing with it with an iron fist in a velvet glove. Commander Barry Leroyd has never fired a shot in anger, but he knows only too well the dangers involved in the line of duty. He was on scene during the CF-36 explosion last year that killed 5 Afghan refugees. In all those years of naval service, and you've had a lot of them, where do you put this work?
Right up there with the most difficult work that I've encountered, looking after people in a very, very difficult situation at sea, a long way away from any support, and making sure that I keep my crew safe and the people we have embarked safe until we were able to hand them over to Australian authorities.
As difficult as war zones?
Absolutely.
Fantastic position, isn't it?
It's a great position.
It's only taken you 40 years to get here.
Yeah, but I was doing different things.
So, okay,
That's pretty harsh.
That's
pretty harsh.
You won't find a more experienced or popular naval commander than Barry Leroyd, immensely proud of his crew and his ship.
So would you like to manoeuvre the ship and throw the ship around a little bit at speed?
Throw the ship around.
Throw the ship around.
It's an invitation you can't refuse, can you?
Absolutely not. So go to 30 on the port side. See how we initially lean into the turn?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then we'll lean out.
Gee, that's good, isn't it? I suppose you need that sort of manoeuvrability.
Well, if we're working and we're actually tracking small boats, and if you can imagine a boat that's only 10 or 15 metres long, the smaller the boat, generally the smaller the turning circle.
Yeah.
So they're very manoeuvrable, so we need to be very manoeuvrable in order to stay with them.
There are 9 Armidale-class boats patrolling our northern waters, but that's only part of the battle. In the air, a fleet of fixed-wing aircraft make long-range surveillance sweeps every day.
Today we're doing about 4.5 to 5 hours on station, and we'll be covering it's 500 miles in a big leg, but the area is probably twice the size of Tasmania in terms of ocean area that we're covering.
Twice the size of Tassie?
Yes.
Flight Lieutenant Adam Saver is the captain of this P-3 Orion flight. These planes are the forward scouts of Australian border security.
I could safely say that we would find everything that's there. Every vessel that's on the surface we'll confidently find.
You are very confident you wouldn't miss one single boat?
Yes, I'm very confident of that.
Eyes and ears everywhere.
That's right.
And the number of vessels in their sights is staggering.
The yellow contacts are the contacts we are yet to investigate. As you can see, there's quite a few on this screen.
All these yellow symbols could be anything, fishing boats, asylum seeker boats, whatever.
At the moment, we don't know what they are, so we'll go and investigate. We'll use our EO system, which you can see here, which is an infrared and electro-optic system to identify what these contacts are at range.
The technology on this plane is worth more than the plane itself. It's so sensitive, Flight Lieutenant Matt Bassado can detect anything from a fishing fleet to a floating log from 50 kilometres away.
Is it difficult to spot a boatload of these people?
No, not at all. Not at all. We've been doing this a long time now, and when they see us, it's pretty clear that they're happy to see us. You will have a number of people waving and things like that.
In the week we spent with the operation, we saw 3 illegal vessels. And on closer inspection, all were barely seaworthy.
Welcome to the Hotel Hilton.
You can hear the water sloshing around down there, listen to that.
Yeah, that could be rather nerve-wracking to the passengers on board, because that's probably down in the bilge area underneath these floorboards.
It's hard to believe 42 asylum seekers were crammed into this leaking tub of a boat. At night, she resembles a ghost ship, but the signs of her human cargo are everywhere.
There's not a lot of headroom here.
Not a lot of headroom.
Mate, there is a lot of water down there.
Yes, there is a lot of water down underneath there.
That's terrific. I'm glad we're only on it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
What's this?
All they've done with this is put up a simple barricade. This is just to cut off the engineering space. As you can see, that's quite flimsy.
What, a bit of plywood between you and the engine?
It's just a bit of ply room between you and the engine.
You wouldn't send your dog away, would you, in a boat like this?
No, I wouldn't. Not without a life insurance policy.
But despite the dangers, they keep coming. Dawn at Ashmore Reef shows the scale of the operation that's running up here. On this day last month, every Aussie ship had asylum seekers on board. Men, women, and even tiny children. From here, they must make another marathon voyage out to Christmas Island, where they will be assessed for refugee status. It really is a human shuttle service. On this morning alone, more than 100 asylum seekers are being transferred from 3 naval patrol boats and a customs vessel to this customs ship, the Oceanic Viking. It's the only one big enough to ferry them all across to Christmas Island. That's a hell of an expensive taxi.
It's the job we have to do.
Where is the Indonesian Navy in all this?
Well, I think in fairness, to Indonesia, their archipelago is massive. We're working with them as closely as we can. They're doing as good a job as they can.
2,500 people, 60 boats, in under 5 months. Are you surprised by those numbers?
No, not particularly. At the end of the day, my job is not to be surprised or not surprised. My job is to deal with the outcome, and that's what we do.
And that's what the men and women of Operation Resolute will continue to do day in, day out. Our detention centres are overflowing, and the asylum seeker issue is already festering as a key battleground in this year's federal election. But foreign policy debates can't distract commanders like Barry Leroy. He has his own battles to worry about.
I have to ask my people to put their lives on the line in order to make sure that the people that we intercept are made safe.
You're literally putting them at risk in order to save these asylum seekers.
I have to do that every time I ask those people to go into the seaboats. They are putting themselves at risk, and I'm accepting that risk.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.